Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Drak Tries, where we take a brand spanking new game and we play it for up to 30 minutes, maybe even an hour like we did with Dragon Ball FighterZ. And since we're dealing with another fighting game, it's only appropriate that we brought the fighting game guru back in Stephen Romney. So welcome back, Romney.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Are we looking forward to this one? Because as both Final Fantasy fans, this is definitely something I'm looking forward to, just because for the longest time, I really thought this was never going to come to the States.
Yeah. Especially considering that this was initially an arcade game, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And so I'd played the previous two Dissidia games, and so I was fairly excited for this title to kind of get to see how the game would look given the console treatment.
Yeah, we were basically transitioning from handheld to console. So, and not only that, but this is like a legit arcade system in the game. Or a legit arcade system in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I ever go to Japan, I want to play the legit Dissidia one and see how it plays.
Yeah, because even though arcades are still kind of on the outs, it's still a thriving industry in Japan, and that's just because there's a lot. It's not like here in the States where you have to drive to a lot of places. It's a lot more where there's a lot more foot traffic. People tend to walk to different places or rely on a much more reliable public transit system than we have here in Utah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is weird. So we have select a summon stone and be granted your first summon. So I guess we just pick one at random. I've done very little homework on this game. This is why it's going to be kind of fun. Because I've even heard that they've added characters that weren't in the original Dissidia or in Duodecim. So at that point, farthest left, I guess. Let's just go and pick that and see what happens.
So we got Ifrit.
Ifrit. So, oh, dude, I actually like that design. It's kind of a mixture of what I like about the 7 Ifrit as well as the 10 Ifrit.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And it looks like it has the effect, so when it's pre-summoned, it reduces the foe's guard and stamina more quickly. And then after you've summoned him in battle, it reduces guard stamina more quickly and raises brave attack power. That's
the other thing, too, to get used to is if you've played Dissidia before, it's got a very unusual kind of fighting system compared to other fighting games. I mean, once you get the learning curve, it's easy to move forward.
It's kind of on the same level. I guess the best way to put it, it's kind of on the same level as Super Smash Bros., where it's an outlier. It doesn't really play by rules of other established fighting franchises and just has its own system.
No, and in some cases, maybe you'll agree with me or not on this, tries to incorporate RPG-esque style mechanics into a fighting game.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the main draw, is it tries to, because you can equip things to your fighters to affect the various stats and abilities.
Uh-oh.
The world of Dissidia welcomes you, Kupo. We Moogles assist with any arduous tasks our mystical masters require. Your purpose in this place, however, is to fight, fight, fight. And as long as you keep at it, your efforts will be rewarded, Kupo.
Wow, I can already feel like thousands of fanboys raging because that's the same Moogle voice from 13-2.
Yep.
You'll recover myriad memories of this realm, Kupo. So how about it? Shall we practice the bare
See, I don't care, because that character was irrelevant as far as I'm concerned in 13-2.
Yep. So I guess this would trigger the tutorial, which probably for people who aren't familiar, we probably should go through.
Yeah, we probably should, because I have a feeling it's been a while since we've played Dissidia.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Splendid, Kupo. Well, enjoy your wonderful journey, Kupo.
Wow, that Koopa or that Moogle design looks like it should be in World of Final Fantasy. It really does.
They probably reused the model.
Moogles really aren't in it. In World of Final Fantasy, it's kind of surprising. So, combat tutorial. Pick any character you want to begin learning the basics of combat with them. Okay, so first of all, I want to take a look at the characters because I have heard that there are some additions to it. So we have the Warrior of Light from the original. We have Garland, who is... So basically, the main hero and the main villain are definite ones in the lineup. So Garland is the main enemy of one. We have Firion, and therefore the Emperor of Palamecia for Final Fantasy II. We have the Onion Knight, and therefore, yep, and there you go. We have the controversial design that is very Team Ninja-esque.
Yeah.
For the Cloud of Darkness. And I'm already going to get crap on this because the English voice of her is Laura Bailey. So I have a feeling a Shadow Blazer's going to come out of the shadows just to make fun of me.
Yep.
We have Cecil. Oh, I didn't even know he had a last name. Cecil Harvey.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that the switch mechanic is probably still in place for him.
Yep, it even says it in the description where where he basically...
I liked it, actually.
Well, yeah, and it looks like they've reused it from the earlier games where on the ground, his attacks, he fights as a Dark Knight, but when he's in the air, he turns into a Paladin.
Yeah, so he's the main hero of 4, but the coolest part is that my favorite character from Final Fantasy IV is also in the game. I don't know why they did this, but they did.
Well, it's because he was in Duodecim and actually played a key role.
I know, but like I don't even know why he got introduced in Duodecim.
Well, like there's a story reason why that actually ties into the story of Duodecim as to why he's included.
Yeah.
But I'd have to basically summarize the plot of both games to...
And we won't worry about that. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite characters in Final Fantasy of all time, Kane Highwind. Golbez, yeah, he makes sense. He should be in here. Bart Klauser from Final Fantasy V, he's the main hero. And then we also have Exdeath from 5 as well. We have Tara Branford. I will actually say, and this is probably me being picky, this design looks a lot better than Dissidia's did. For Terra. I like the fact that, especially with Team Ninja, where you would expect them to be embellishing curves, they kept it very simple for Terra.
Yeah, and it looks like they tried incorporating a little bit more of Amano's original artwork, where the hair didn't really look solid. It had a lot more of a wispiness to it, which, given that it's on a console and not a handheld, they can get away with.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that even, because I have a feeling that they all have like a limit break of some kind. If I remember correctly, hers kind of pissed me off because it was just basically trying to get her naked. And this is Team Ninja, so I don't want them doing the nasty too much.
Well, yeah, and hopefully they'll keep themselves fairly contained, given that it's just her going into her Esper state. Yeah. Which isn't completely...
Which is acceptable.
Well, yeah, it's acceptable, but it's also the thing to remember is that it's not completely humanoid.
No, it's not. And the only problem that I had with it was that they kept more humanistic features with it in the original Dissidia. And I remember them saying, like, the engine wouldn't allow them to make her look more bestial.
Well, yeah, and a part of it's that they also wanted to have it look like the sprite from the original Final Fantasy VI.
Yep. So we have Kefka also, Kefka Palazzo, the truly a evil human being. We have Cloud Strife, obviously. Our buddy is back. And I think if we go down, Sephiroth. Oh my gosh, they made the sword longer. It's not that long in the original Dissidia.
Well, yeah, again, because we're dealing with, like, super-powered console specs, not limited PSP handheld specs.
I just look at that and go, wow, if you hit that thing in the right way, it's going to break.
Well, depending on how it's forged. I mean, there were swords that were that long back in Japan in the medieval period, so long that they required 2 people to actually draw them. Yeah. But they were primarily used basically against horses.
The other thing, too, so we were saying, like, a couple of these got console updates. You can very clearly see it with Sephiroth. Like, his shoulders are different. His hair's got physics to it now. Let's see. And another one that I'm already starting to see it is Cloud, because you've got the frill. Squall. Because you've got the actual Fuzz has hair mechanics for it on his coat and on his pants. We have Ultimisia. We also have Zidane, or I used to say Zidane, but apparently we've been saying it wrong for years.
Yeah, probably because I guess back when they made 9, they never expected voice acting to actually become important. Yeah. Especially given that even with 10, you were given the option to name the main character, but then by 12 onward, they kind of abandoned that.
Yeah. We also have Kuja. And he also looks kind of updated from the original model. Tidus is very much reminiscent of how he looks in the PS4 remasterings.
Yeah, except a little bit more detailed, because the remastering doesn't remaster everything, but it very much is. It's the basic classic outfit, and his face looks even a little bit more feminine than it was in the original game.
Well, even Brotherhood has some detail aesthetics to it here that make it look even better. Mm-hmm. So I like that. And then we also have Jecht. And I would actually say his model looks better from the original the PSP design. The sword definitely looks more imposing. And from here, let's see, we've got Shantoto, I think is how you say it, from Final Fantasy XI. The race that she is very popular in 11, and I think 14 as well. I don't know its name off the top of my head.
Yeah, neither do I. Because again, neither one of us played 11 because it was an MMO, and
Well, I might actually have to play it eventually. Like you can still get it.
are the
but
servers still up for 11?
servers aren't still up, but you could still do a single player experience for it.
Okay.
At least that's what Steam says that you can do. And I did find 11 on Steam, and I've already gotten recommendations like please play 11. So we have Vaughn. Oh, the one guy from 12 they shouldn't have brought in.
Yeah, but when you consider he's the guy on the cover, he was the main star of the sequel Revenant Wings.
I'll at least say that this version of him looks cooler than it did in 12. We have Lightning, and this is the original one, but I have a feeling she'll have different skins because we just barely saw in the opening movie she was wearing the Lightning Returns outfit.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and basically all the characters usually get like different costumes you can unlock. There's
Yeah.
no doubt Cloud will have his default costume, but then he'll also have his Advent Children outfit.
Please tell me that we have the Lightning in soldier garb.
We might. I mean, if not in the game natively, they're going to give that as DLC. I mean,
Have to.
another example of alternate costumes. I think it was in Duodecim where I know Titus had a shirtless variant of his outfit.
Yeah.
And then there was also, I'm sure they probably even tried creating a Shuyin variant in reference to 10 too.
Yes, and I've seen the models. So I played Dissidia. I never got around to Duodecim, but I'd seen the models, and I did actually like the Shuyin skin. We have Y'shtola, which is from 14. Our buddy Brinton will correct us if we've said that wrong.
Yeah, and basically he's the only one out of the Geek News panel who will actually know who she is, because again...
Yeah, I don't. I do know that she's lasted between the two versions, so 14 and then Realm Reborn. She's been in both. Then there's Noctis Lucis Calum from Final Fantasy 15. I do find it funny he has no weapon.
Well, that's because he has magical crystal powers.
Yeah, because
that allow him
it's going to be the crystal swords. They're going to be how he fights.
Yep.
And then here's some new ones. Ramza Beluv. Oh my gosh.
Yep, from Final Fantasy Tactics.
From Tactics, War of the Lions, whatever you want to call it. Oh, dude, I really hope he has skins from the other acts because I hate that Act 1 look.
Yeah.
I hope they have the Act 4 look. That was really good.
They'll probably
The
be
blue
included
armor.
as a costume. I kind of hope they decide to include Marche from Final Fantasy Advance as well. Tactics Advance as well.
Well, and here's the thing, too. I have the season pass, so I know that there are 8 additional characters coming. So at that point, it actually would be cool to see other characters from other like Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy variants be able to show up here. Like Delita? That would be, or Agrias. They would be amazing in here. And who is this? This is Ace?
Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0, the first of the Final Fantasy 13 spin-offs that actually made it out the door that didn't get delayed and given its own number because...
Well, and it's also part of Fabula Novae Crystallis,
That was the initial idea. It was supposed to be, but it became its own separate thing because it was first designed for cell phones, then they had to port it to the PSP,
Yeah.
and then they had to port it to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then it was by that point when it came to those consoles, they gave up on the whole Fabula Nova Crystallis thing. And that's why Noctis ended up becoming the main character of 15 instead of it being called Versus 13.
Okay. So already, like, the lineup here is looking awesome, and the fact that we have 8 additional characters coming soon make me even more excited. But we got to get this this show rolling. So because we're gonna do some story, we're also gonna do some multiplayer here. So pick a character for the tutorial. I guess we should pick Cloud because everybody knows Cloud.
Yeah, it's the fan favorite.
So let's just do him. I would pick Kane otherwise, but I don't want to walk into him and not know what I'm doing.
Selected battle set, Kupo.
All right, so it looks like they have the different types of attacks that you can set up. So
Yeah, but it also looks like you have to unlock some because I do know that he had other limit breaks to be able to use in Dissidia, so you probably have to unlock them.
Yep.
Set A, set B. So we have Poisonga, I think is how you're supposed to say it. Final Fantasy, you have made saying your spells so difficult since 8.
Yep.
Hit point regen, and then set A, we have ex-soldier op for first class 1.
So yeah, so that looks like
Set
that's for the
B.
skins.
Yeah, so, okay. So then chat messages. I don't even, because it's not even displaying like what it could be. So we'll just
Yeah, I
keep
guess
it
that's
set A.
something you'd have to set up into like a different thing.
Select a
And then we
summon,
have our
Kupo.
summon, Ifrit.
Oh, I hope that we get all of the classic summons. So briefing, looks like we're paired up with Squall and Furion up against Kane, Terra, and Squall. So let's learn the basics of combat. We're not going to go over every single bit of this, but we'll try and go over as much as we can. Otherwise, we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
Character movement. So just use the left stick. Targeting.
Yeah, because it looked like those actually like side menus. I think you have to push the side thing.
Yep. So this is what you use. And okay. Just mock battle here, because well, okay, dash. How do you do that? R1. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Near a tree or wall to run up it. Okay, that makes sense. And then triangle, a lock-on dash. Okay. Bravery system.
Yeah, so bravery, to kind of give the short explanation, how it worked in the earlier Dissidia games, it was more or less like a multiplayer where you would first build up bravery, and then when you did your HP attack, the amount of bravery you had would determine how much damage you would do against your opponent.
Yeah. So, EX skills, that's, no, that's not the limits. Powerful abilities that can strengthen your allies or weaken your foes. Yep. Okay. All right, let's do the mock battle here and make sure that we know what we're doing. Now that you've got all the tools a brawler needs, test your mettle against the AI in a mock battle. Yes, I want to test it in a mock battle. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I have
So
allies who can help me.
Is it always team combat?
To support
Yeah.
you guys.
Okay.
Trounce and triumph, Kubo.
Well met.
Well, at least now we know how these work. Oh, geez. Okay, Terra.
Stand still.
Yeah, you're still locked on the Warrior of Light, so that's the one you're going for.
Yeah. Whoa! Okay, I can already tell you this moves a lot faster than the DSP game.
Leave the core to me.
Okay. The Nameless Dragoon? Yeah, we're definitely taking him out. I can already tell you, like, I love the new aesthetic for it. I think it works. Oh, someone's been broken. Oizonga! Just trying to teach myself, like, what are the basic attacks again. There we go. Warrior of Light! Screw you! We're gonna kill you.
Attacking the core.
Oh, I just barely noticed that. Yeah, so we've got a crystal core out there. And there you go. That's how you summon. Oh, dude, just look at that design. That is a nasty looking dude now.
Indeed.
Okay. Uh-oh. Somebody just put out a tornado. And now I'm getting my butt handed to me by Ifrit. Because why not? Woo! Well, I can also tell you this about Cloud. They've definitely reworked him a little bit. Because I remember in the original Dissidia, he was kind of the basic, if you're trying to learn this game, then he was the guy that you wanted to use. Now they've made him bigger, bulkier, actually kind of, if I were to say, like, how to put it properly, it feels like his Buster Sword has actually been put into account here. Like, he shouldn't be able to wield something this big, given his size.
Yeah.
And so now there's a price.
Stand still.
Woo! Wow, okay, I sent him flying.
Don't get up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Incapacitated! Okay, so I finally got the warrior dead. Now let's take care of the nameless girl. Yes, because she's a girl! Oh.
Let's summon a greater strength.
Okay.
This calls for a summon.
Set the world on fire.
All right,
and
so
watch
now
it burn.
we're manifesting Ifrit ourselves.
This time he's on our side.
Yes, so now the fire will heal us, right? No, it's fire. Oh, and she's already in her Esper form. That is a lot better looking. It actually has horns to it. Did you notice that?
Well, as best as I could, given that it's hard to focus on
Yeah.
it when it's in motion.
We got to break her first, if I remember correctly.
Yep, because you gotta get them down to basically have to decrease their bravery, because in addition to determining how much damage you do, it also acts as your defense. So if you have brave points and someone hits you with an HP attack, the amount of brave points you have will mitigate the damage. But if
There
you're
we
in a
go.
broken
So-
state, it means you got nothing protecting you.
So then at that point, that's when we unleash the HP maneuvers. And now she's in. Oh, wow, I got them both.
Yeah, you got them both at the same time.
Okay. See what I mean, guys? This is how complex these games can get. All right, so I think we're fine now. I think we got the basics of it, right?
Yeah, from the
Okay.
looks of it.
So hopefully this puts us into the story mode, or not. I don't know.
Well, at least it brings us
Online
to
mode, offline mode. We want to do offline.
Yeah, because basically the kind of players that tend to do well online, yeah, we're not ready for that.
No, we'll try a little bit in a little while, but
Yeah, so Gauntlet mode looks like that's their arcade mode, and then you have Sparring Match, which is probably just a one-on-one mode.
I just want to start. There we go, story mode. So let's see what the story has to unfold for us now. Oh no, our gameplay recording has been paused. Oh no, let's see. Recover memories of what transpired in this realm by expending Memoria and unlocking panels on the map, okay? So very much like, well, I want to say it's a little bit like the PS1 Dissidia. I don't know about Duodecim though. So let's go ahead and unlock this one.
And like kind of similar, sort of. That just depends on, because they didn't really have one separate for cutscenes, so this may just be kind of something new, because
Yeah.
Dissidia had kind of like a board.
The world before you lies between myriad dimensions.
Yeah, it kind of had like a board mechanic, and then Duodecim had an overworld.
Yeah.
It was once plagued by divine conflict, but saviors from beyond were able to stem that eternal blight. The strife ended. The world was to fade from existence.
And nature came into being here at Disney's
And yet-
The Land. Sorry. Just, it feels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An
two neighboring
arcane
kingdoms.
power acted upon it, bestowing these remains with purpose once more.
Is it just me, or does he look like Asura from
Thus
Asura's
it
Wrath?
shines,
Well, given that he's supposed to be chaos,
the
it
Yeah.
wouldn't
dawn
surprise
of a
me.
new era, one where battle reigns supreme.
I'm sorry, but I know what chaos looks like, and that's Garland. No, wrong chaos. So now that we've had that, you are one Memoria short. Well, then how do we earn Memoria?
Well, I guess probably by either playing certain modes or something.
Maybe. Huh, okay. So, and even then, this is still a cutscene. Because a princely welcome.
Gee, I wonder what prince they could be referring to.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to do a little bit of gauntlet mode or something. Options. First of all, I'm gonna swap
Yeah,
this.
let's put on like subtitles or something.
Yeah, because as beautiful as that was, I could barely
I
hear.
couldn't even understand what was being said.
That's why I was making the Disney comment, because I'm like, oh wow, you are really quiet. Offline mode. Let's do gauntlet. And basic. Standard match. Okay, so I want to pick, just for the heck of it, I want to mess around with Kane. And then probably the next one, we'll probably just hand over to you, because
Right.
at that point, like, I will have had my fair share of it.
Yeah. So,
who do we want to be up against? Like,
well, these are basically you're choosing the members of your party. So.
oh, sorry, these are computers. So, I almost don't want to pick the same characters that I thought were good in Dissidia because I don't know if they're going to be good here. But for the hell of it, we'll pick Sephiroth because I'm sure somebody will want us to do that. And finally, I want to actually get Ramza in here and see what he adds to the equation. So yes. Oh no. I want to confirm my. Okay, confirmed. No.
Well, yeah. So basically, if you want to actually proceed to the battle, you'll push.
Oh, there you go. So square. So looks like it's going to be difficulty bronze, where we go to lunar subterrane from 4. Oh my gosh. Like, this is going to be really cool because a lot of the battlefields in the PSP version were very generic. These are actually based because we have Lunar Subterrane from 4, Eden from 13, Cornelia, Stellar Fulcrum from 11, Cornelia. Oh, wow. I love this. Okay, so Lunar Subterrane.
Select the summon, Kupo.
Yes, I'm horribly biased. 4 is like my favorite. So I'm so happy that this is happening now. I get to see what the Lunar Subterrane would look like in 3D. Oh,
So, yeah, those are all the chat options.
there we go.
Now this is what I'm talking about. My training commences.
Liam O'Brien plays him. That is awesome. Hi, Liam. I just barely played a game where you were in it.
Use your skills, Kupo.
Actually, I played 2 games that you were in because I played World of Warcraft and then I was also working on another game from 2017.
Block bravery attacks by guarding, Kupo.
Okay.
Incoming, Kupo. Go crush that core, Kupo.
I'm trying to think, like, Gungnir, okay.
Use your skills, Kupo.
So we're already seeing a different costume for Noctis. See, I know that there's a specific attack that attacks their bravery,
Yes.
and then one that attacks their HP.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and so the main, like, regular attacks, those seem to attack the bravery, whereas Gungnir, that's an HP attack, meaning that that's how you're attacking his health.
Finish that foe, Kupo.
Oh,
And when it flashes purple like that, it means the enemy you've targeted will basically die if you hit them with that HP attack.
yeah. Dang it. Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong gauge because I thought he was broken. Dude, Kane is kind of vicious. Incapacitated, so now we have only... Hi, Furion. Screw you.
It's Furion in his alternate, like, early Amano artwork costume as opposed to his default costume.
Which, if I remember correctly, was played by Johnny Young Bosch in the original PSP game.
Yeah, in both of them, because they had the same cast for both PSP games. They had the same voice cast.
I've been incapacitated. Oh well.
Which means you've done.
Oh, have I been resurrected? Okay. Yay! I'm revived.
More incoming, Kupo.
I'll make dust of that rock.
Go crush that core, Kupo.
Yeah, he's okay. He's still the voice.
Yep. Square tends to be pretty good about their voice actor continuity.
Yeah.
Unlike Capcom.
Which means that I'm probably going to get crap from Alex the Shadow Blazer later on when we face off against the Cloud of Darkness, who has, well, big ginormous jumblies. And it's going to be played by Laura Bailey.
Summon your serpent, Kupo.
Oh, I'm sorry, the vicious
Finish
racist
that foe,
Laura
Kupo.
Bailey. Because how dare she play a black woman,
Will all be over soon.
even though it was a damn job.
Yeah, that's a whole separate discussion.
Yeah. It's still one of those things that frustrates me to this day that she got such crap for it. Because, guys, I hate to be the guy to break this to you. This is not the first time it's happened, nor will it be the last.
Stick close to your companions,
Okay.
Kupo.
Boom! Incapacitated. So now we have to face off against Y'shtola.
Yeah, but it also looks like Noctis was revived as well, and so is Furion.
Yeah. Well, part of me kind of wonders if this is a gauntlet, then it's just basically like, how long can you last before things go awry for you? Oh, okay.
Finish that bow, Kupo.
Woohoo! I got a victory.
So I guess the victory conditions are how many times the character can be defeated, I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
It was an honor to fight alongside you.
It's Liam. That's so hilarious. Okay, so it looks like I was first, Sephiroth next, and then came their Noctis, then Ramza, then their Furion, and then their Y'shtola. Okay, so next we got a grade A++, Romney. So did that actually give us Memoria, or?
Well, it looks like I'm guessing you have to go through the full gauntlet because it looks like you've got 5 more matches to go through.
Yeah.
So it looks like this will allow you to not so much change characters, but at least change HP attacks and EX skills.
Okay, so at that point, so we've already done this one. Oh, and they changed. So Besaid Island from 10, Pandemonium from 2, Floating Continent from 3, Interdimensional Rift for 5, Royal City of Rabanastre from 12, Cornelia, and that's it. So at that point, let's actually...
Well, look at the difficulties, because you'll notice that they've got gold, platinum, silver.
Bronze, yeah. Okay, so at that point, let's go ahead and let you edit your party, Romney.
All right. So it looks like it won't let me change characters, but it lets me change what skills they've got.
Okay.
So Mighty Strikes, Share Bravery. Let's leave that as is.
Again, I really do. So, story aside, because like even you and me kind of agreed off camera, like Dissidia's story is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
It still looks pretty good. Visually, I'm gonna say that. Audio-wise, it sounds really good. The music that I've been able to hear so far has been amazing.
Select a summon, Kupo.
And I also have the soundtrack for it, so I mean it's awesome. Gameplay, I will say it's probably a little complex, but not in a bad way. I think it's actually got an easy enough learning curve. Wow. Yeah, that was the same one. Oh, and yeah, so here's the variation on the Final Fantasy IV battle.
Yep.
Oh, he's broken. Oh, no, he's not broken no more. Well, he was broken.
Well, yeah, because when you enter a broken state, you recover bravery slowly.
Incoming, Kupo. Go crush that core, Kupo.
I'll make dust of that rock.
Finish that bow, Kupo.
I'll smash
Okay, I can already tell you like one little gripe I'm gonna have, that Moogle's gonna get annoying.
Stay
There
close to your
goes Kefka.
companions, Kupo.
Okay, so down Kefka. And oh, it looks like
I've still got the hang of it.
oh no, never mind. That's Noctis, but it looks like also we have a Cecil in there too. Or maybe a Kain?
But dodging you.
Use your skills, Kupo.
And I've already seen people complaining about the introduction or the entrance of Noctis into this game. I'm like,
He's the main.
I don't understand why that's a problem. Like, I get why 15's villain isn't here, because a lot of people may have not made their way through 15, but I don't know. Is there just rampant Noctis hate? I don't get
There
it.
have been people complaining about 15 in a nutshell, but
Yeah,
Leave that one to me.
because Noctis, I don't hate his character. I'm not saying it's for where I'm at, it's not the greatest character ever written, but well, I'm sure he's got potential to grow on you. If anything, I would actually say his companions annoy me more than Noctis does. With the highest one going to, not Gladiolus. Crap, I can't remember his name, but he, you know what I'm talking, the blonde one. You know the one I'm talking. Prompto, yeah. Oh, Prompto drives me nuts. Oh, dude, that's an awesome Odin.
Okay, how do you guard?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out myself. Oh, and I didn't even see that. So if you press and hold it, then you can power up the attack.
Okay, there we go.
Dude, this is just, it's amazing to look at. So this is Cornelia. So Final Fantasy 1 territory, and it looks amazing. Like,
okay, so I'm guessing that must have been Odin. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, I gotta be careful.
Oh, and you broke him. Oh, you got a hit. Dude. Oh, and it looks like we're... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, like, we're down a guy, but no, it's just because our interface is right above. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, but you incapacitated one of them.
Cecil.
Yeah, okay, so that was Cecil. I can't say Cecil. I should be able to, but I'm used to saying Cecil.
Ah, dang it, they cast Confuse.
And silence on you. So you can't use your abilities until the silence goes away. Ah. Oh, this looks so good. It's gonna be real fun to play through. Okay, that was satisfying just to see Kefka just like, are we done yet? Ugh.
Yep, looks like I've still got it.
Yay!
It was an honor to fight alongside you. Commander, I emerged from that a better soldier.
Oh wow, and I just barely got it. Like you when we saw the princely welcome, I was like, because you said, oh, I wonder who that is, and I completely forgot. Yeah, he's a prince. I was like sitting there going, could they be talking about another game character? No, they're talking about Noctis.
Yeah, because usually with how it works, it's the main character of the newest game that tends to get focus.
Yeah.
It's just with the first Dissidia, things were kind of in flux because it was an anniversary title. With Duodecim, Lightning got center stage because 13 had come out.
Yeah.
So naturally, it stands to reason that
15 would get the focus here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't want to risk tempting fate by going for these upper difficulties. So
No, let's just go with another bronze.
So let's go with Pandemonium.
So picking Ifrit.
Since that's the only summon we have.
And we have Squall, Kain, and Zidane. And you're already looking at the different costumes you can get.
No time.
I like that we have like the shield or the seed formal from Squall. I don't know if I like the Kain outfit.
I'm guessing it must be from the after years.
Use your skills,
Maybe.
Kupo.
That's again another game that I need to get my hands on.
I've heard mixed things about it.
I didn't play it when it came out on WiiWare, but I have it because I have the collector's edition for PS4 or PSP.
More incoming, Kupo.
Because that's how I played it on my channel.
Go crush that core, Kupo.
If that is his look in that, then I'll be disappointed.
Well, that won't be the only reason.
Well, I'm sure that they did some things to his character that I'm already gonna have problems with. I've already heard from people in after years saying like, I won't like Rydia and I won't like.
Hold still, you stupid pretty boy.
And the other thing too is I won't like the main character because it's one of those teenage boy and dad relationships with Cecil.
Yeah.
It's like, shoot him, Dad. I can do things on my own. And no, that character bothers me so much. Dude. I can already tell you this one is going to be a bear. Simply because in the original one, Pandemonium was really good for hiding spots. This one isn't going to be. So isn't going to be. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, so they did it for you. Sephiroth sent Squall flying. Go, you little emo douchebag.
It was an honor to fight alongside you.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty easy for you.
Greatly from you.
Yeah, just now that I've gotten oriented with the controls, I seem to be getting a better understanding.
So who would you prefer to play? Like
Well,
right now with what you've seen?
Well, usually my main in Dissidia would be Warrior Light because of the way certain attacks work, but
Yeah.
with Duodecim and this title, they changed the way certain bravery attacks tend to work, where it's no longer like the Smash Brothers control where you have the forward attack and the rear and the backwards attack.
I could already tell you, like, in my experimentation, I'm gonna like faster characters, so I'll probably cling a little bit to Tidus and Zidane a little bit. So let's see, we have Kefka.
Make it easy on yourselves and give up now.
So Advent Children Cloud, and then I'm guessing that's supposed to be God Kefka, like the way he looks at the end of the game.
Use your skills, Kupo.
That's my guess, but yeah, I have a feeling like I'll go with faster characters like Zidane, Tidus, probably even Jekt. Jekt is kind of a mid to speedy character. That is, of course, assuming everything works the way it does in Dissidia.
Horn incoming, Kupo. Use your skills, Kupo.
And I'm starting to agree with you. I don't know if we're going to be able to do online multiplayer. We'll probably get trashed.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because you're already talking about people. This game's been out since last Tuesday, so we're already talking about a bunch of people who probably have the learning curve figured out.
Yep.
And we're just barely figuring it out here.
Oh boy.
Finish that.
Run away.
Oh, dude, is that the Force Stealer?
Use your skills,
Yes, it
Kupo.
is. That's the Force Stealer design from 7. Okay. Oh, but you got one of the clouds.
Horn incoming, Kupo.
Yeah, that has to be like Kefka at the end of 6, so he's supposed to look like a god. Or at least like royalty. That's the coolest part about these games. Like they take the sprite designs and do amazing stuff with their costumes.
I'll smash the core to nothing.
Okay, yeah. So you were asleep. Now it's dark. So
And he's put the death timer.
oh, I didn't even see that before. Yeah. You are kind of I'm trying to remember what Death did in the original one. I think Death just basically took you down to a very fragile state. Didn't necessarily kill you. He just wagged his butt at us.
Yeah,
Bastard!
that's Kefka.
Even in 3D, we still hate you. With a blinding passion.
Get back here, you stupid bop.
Oh. Something tells me when you actually get into online play, Kefka's gonna be the troll character. Because I don't even think, like, in the original Dissidia, he had too much going for him.
Well, that hurt.
Yeah? Your bravery's gone. Oh. See, part of me was really hoping that spear would be hitting his balls.
Okay, so
Stay
that's
close to
how.
your companions, Kupo.
So now that you've actually had a little bit, so what are your thoughts on the gameplay? Is it easier or harder than the originals?
It's about the same. It does have kind of its learning curve issues, but if you are familiar with the core mechanics, it seems to be easy to pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to have added a few extra, well, rules and gimmicks to it, which may make things either less balanced or more balanced. It's hard to say without testing it against a human player.
Yeah, and balance is going to play key into a lot of this stuff because, again, this is an online game now.
Yeah, and it's more akin to a brawler than a regular fighting game, so...
Yeah, and I have a feeling, like, with new characters, they're going to have to constantly balance. So, because with a new character, you can't have them upset it. Which is really funny because, like, I don't think we have any we don't have the leaked characters yet. But I don't know if you saw the story on IGN. All the DLC characters for Dragon Ball FighterZ got leaked.
Yeah.
At least supposedly. We don't know if it's true or not. Like,
yeah, it's always been having a lot of problems with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Late.
Because I think the confirmed ones, and people wanted our opinions for it, were Vegito, Broly is confirmed. We are going to get Jiren eventually, which is funny because I think Toppo is the one we all wanted now, because he's actually the god of death. Let's see. I think... No, Caulifla was not in that list. I'm not remembering all of them, but I know Vegito, which is not blue Vegito, but Super Saiyan Vegito. Broly is another one. Oh, Cooler was another one too. So we're gonna get that Frieza variation with Cooler. What's your take on that?
It doesn't really surprise me. I mean, Broly is almost very much the kind of character anyone wants to see in a Dragon Ball game.
Broly kind of has to be in there. Like, even though this is the funniest part, like the hardcore Dragon Ball Z fans don't like Broly, and for good reason we don't.
Stand a chance.
But the problem is that like a lot of casual fans love Broly and what he actually represents as a threat. It's like you actually have a legendary Super Saiyan, hence why I don't think this is going to be spoiling for you because I have a feeling you've heard about this at least by now as Kale. It's not surprising, although I'll admit I really would have liked the Caulifla design because holy crap, guys, we had female Saiyans. And they went Super Saiyan, for crying out loud. In fact, one of the best fights, in my opinion, in the entire Tournament of Power arc was against, what was her? Kefla, which is the fused version of Kale and Caulifla. That would have been really cool to get a design for that, especially since it has the slight green tinge, but nope, we're not getting that. Oh, that's actually bothering me, like who the other ones were. They're not coming to me right off the top of my head. I know Cooler was one of them. And those are the only ones that are coming to my mind. Dang it. I almost want to say Android 13 was another one, but I don't think that's right. We got a bunch of movie villains, basically, is what you can get from this. Oh, and we didn't even get Hercule, which people got mad about.
Yeah.
We didn't get Mr. Satan. Which I'll admit, like, I'm not the biggest Hercule fan or Mr. Satan fan. But I kind of have an appreciation for him now. And I guess we could actually kind of go through that, like, who do we expect or who do we want to be brought in for the 8 for this game?
Well,
I have a feeling that the 15 villain has to be accounted for. I don't know who that is right off the top of my head, but maybe he has to be accounted for.
Well, yeah, and then there's also characters that were in Duodecim, like Tifa, for example, I'm sure people are going to want back.
Yes. I actually want Tifa back. She was one of the characters that when I would get around to Duodecim, I wanted to play, because I had a feeling she was going to be a very scrappy kind of brawler. Do we see anybody being brought back from, like, the Sprite days?
Possibly.
I mean, Kane got brought back.
Yeah, because Kane got brought in, and then there's also, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, who else could be included from the 2D days. Because, I mean...
Locke, maybe?
Yeah, Locke, maybe. And then from 5, 5 it's tricky, just given that the game functions on the job system.
Yeah.
Include for that.
That's kind of the problem with that, is that even Bart's... I think they actually tried to make the job system incorporate into Bart's.
Well, yeah. Yes, kind of the way they do it is just they have it where he's able to summon other people's weapons.
Yeah. So,
To summon, Kupo.
I don't know. If you were going to include one, I could see, like, Faris.
Yeah.
Because Faris is, like, the one character that people have a love and respect for.
Yeah, because I know in Duodecim they even included Gilgamesh from 5 as well, which granted.
Oh, yeah, Gilgamesh.
Which granted, Gilgamesh appeared in various role capacities throughout the entire Final Fantasy series since 5.
Honestly, I see a lot of 3D characters because they're more well known. So, like, for example, I could see Cypher getting brought in.
Well, yeah. Then you also have the case of the non-numbered spin-off because they have things from Tactics and they have things from Type 0. So would we possibly see something? Maybe?
Yeah, who would be who could we actually consider to be like the villain to be brought in from Tactics? I'd almost say Delita,
Kupo.
Yeah.
because he is a villain for a good portion of it.
Use your skills, Kupo.
And at that point, you're exactly right. Like, there is no limit. Like, if they
'cause I know
decided
the
to bring in
people-
Tactics, they could bring in anything.
Well, yeah, and the people at Square have mentioned that they wanted to bring Sora into Dissidia, but because because he's partially owned by Disney, they can't. Not without Disney's permission.
I can guarantee you they'll get that permission once 3 comes
Use your
out.
skills, Kupo.
So you'll get the Kingdom Hearts 3 version of Sora, because they'll want that advertisement.
And they probably don't want to rely solely on cup noodles.
Coming, Kupo.
Yeah.
I'll smash the core of nothing.
By the way, I don't know. So we're actually playing this on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sure that there's somebody out there who's gonna say, "What the hell's wrong with us?" But this is more ideal for us. I just barely saw a commercial on Twitter, and it looked like this post-apocalyptic anime where it was a romance, and just before the meteor actually hits the ground, you almost see like the guy and the girl go in for a kiss.
Finish that foe,
And then
Kupo.
it closes out with, "Have you had your noodles today?" This cup of noodles.
Yeah.
And I love the thing that was put up on Twitter. It's like, wow, this looked like a really amazing anime, and damn it!
Yeah. And so, and then you also have other things. So there's World of Final Fantasy. You could probably include a character from that.
Either Rain or
Summon your serpent.
I can't remember the boy's name. You could do either of those.
Yeah, and then you've also got like even some of the mobile games. Given the quality that's in some of the mobile games, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried including some of the characters from Mobius or Brave Exodus.
Could be. Do we see them actually going outside the box and bringing in other entries from other Square Enix franchises?
Maybe if they're trying to do some sort of cross.
Because you got to realize, guys, that this is coming out a couple of weeks before Secret of Mana. And I believe they actually focused that to be close to Secret of Mana's anniversary. So at that point, I could totally see like the main hero being brought in, or and I'm thoroughly convinced that this is going to happen. But if Secret of Mana is successful, we might actually see a Chrono Trigger remake. And then at that point, having like Chrono brought in.
Yeah, but then that raises the issue, though, given that a lot of these art designs are based on Tetsuya Nomura's artwork. Will they be able to adapt the characters to a style that'll look consistent with the other characters?
Yeah,
Because-
it's Nomura, but also like inspired by Amano. So at that point, yeah, you're exactly right. Because when you're talking Amano and Toriyama, we
It's
already
night
have
and
different
day.
styles. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a night and day difference. So, and maybe not Chrono, but maybe Surge from Chrono Cross would probably have an easier time being
probably.
adapted, given that art style is a bit more complementary to the art style we see with
Surge
these
or
characters.
Lynx. Lynx could do it too. Because what's Nomura? Did Nomura work on Cross?
No, it wasn't. I don't think he worked on any of the Chrono series.
No, but he would probably be able to augment those to his style.
Yeah.
Chrono would be a lot harder because he's very Toriyama.
Yeah. And so there are even like, especially when you even consider some of the other spin-offs that have been. So yeah, so it looks like you do.
Yeah, there
obtain
you go. We
Memoria.
just unlocked Memoria. Let's go check out the cutscene, just for the hell of it. Oh, we got 2 of them, and we got some treasure. Yay!
Spoils for a slice, scrap.
And some gil.
You mastered a new EX skill, Kupo.
Okay. Oh, so that's the tornado that I kept on getting caught in.
You mastered
HP
a new
regen.
attack, Kupo.
Ooh, Fang and Claw.
Kupo,
One blow will finish this. I shall be your bulwark.
I don't know how I feel about unlocking chat messages and taunts.
Yeah.
There's a couple of games doing that now. Let's actually check out the cutscene And then we'll probably have to wrap this up because we're hitting an hour right now. So.
Yeah, at least we've given people an idea of what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah.
Especially if you've never played Dissidia before.
So let's see a princely welcome. Yeah, this is probably gonna. I think you're right. I think this is gonna be Noctis. Okay, so a princely welcome. Thankfully, this time we actually have subtitles.
Where the hell am I?
That's a very good question, Noctis.
Ignis? Must be Gladio's doing. What? Where did
Huh? Oh, it's Dark
The
Lightning.
welcoming committee?
You okay? Wait.
You real?
Huh. What's it look like?
Honestly, it's hard to tell at this point, given what I've seen.
Yes.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
I gotta be dreaming.
Sorry, but you're wide awake.
Yeah, your friends got tired of you falling asleep, so they
First timer,
shoved you
huh?
out of the car.
Pretty much, yeah.
So then, you're from around here?
Is that supposed to be 13-2 or Lightning
However,
Returns?
others like us should be here.
It looks like 13-2.
I have no idea because I've not played any of the 13 games, so.
Like him.
Is that you, Lightning? And he is
Hey there.
a new ally. Welcome to the fight.
Ally? Hold on.
I thought it was finished.
We have been called upon to serve a new purpose.
Because
By
of course there's
Cosmos?
another reason to keep this going.
No,
Yep.
by the heiress of her will.
Serve what new purpose?
I'll explain on the way.
You're coming too.
Seriously?
Exactly.
Oh,
So yeah, it's
We shall
13-2,
go
but it's
and seek an
modified.
audience with her.
and that's the cutscene.
Okay, so at this point we get another cutscene, ominous procession, and oh, there we go. So, or we can go divergent paths, and
So it looks like they've kind of copied
Yeah.
the Guilty Gear Xrd model of story mode, where it's, okay, instead of an actual story mode you play, you basically watch an anime.
pretty much. So story mode.
In which case, I just have to ask the question, why didn't they just make it as an anime?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Which one do we do? Because we have one more Memoria, and it looks like they're all cost one.
Yeah,
Ominous procession or divergent paths?
let's see. So the gods ask not for loyalty from their warriors, only martial excellence. Or, having been assembled, the champions make for their god's domain. So it doesn't look like it's an actual choice thing, it just means we're seeing two sides of the same thing.
Yeah, so let's stick with the good guys and unlock Ominous Procession.
At least if that's what, if the good or bad is what they...
If that's what they're actually
Yeah.
aiming for.
Yeah, so I look at this and just like, why not just make a Blu-ray movie thing that pairs with the game instead of adding this extra
Give it a
stuff?
year. Somebody on YouTube will put it all together.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, they did it with 15 by including Kingsglaive, so it's just like,
Yeah.
why not just do that instead
No,
of...
I agree.
Death and doom. Forgot to behead that returner.
Okay, that was
Doom
random.
and death. No, I didn't. Let blood stain the battlefield. As long as it doesn't stain my breeches.
I'm kind of with her. I'm
She's just like, what the hell is this person
yeah,
doing?
exactly.
Never change.
Damn it!
It is beings like him that thrive in this chaos.
If it's barbarians like him who live through the fight, I'll need to devise a plan that's utterly airtight.
Yeah, whenever I hear Shantoto speak, I keep thinking, oh, is that Ayeka? Because it sounds like Ayeka.
Yes,
Please
very
throw
much.
us a bone and come down from your throne.
And that's it.
There you go. So that's all the cutscenes that we have so far. So final thoughts on this one, Romney. Where are we standing with Dissidia NT?
Well, the gameplay is fun. I can definitely see myself playing it. But the story mode, I'm not sold. I
like Dissidia's better.
Well, yeah, because the thing is with Dissidia and Duodecim, the story mode is an actual mode that you actually play, whereas here, it's basically, oh, you play all these other modes and earn basically in-game currency to then get the privilege to watch the story mode. Because, I mean, at least with Guilty Gear Xrd, Sign, and Revelator, at least they just have it, okay, you just watch the cutscenes and don't have to do anything else to see the story mode, whereas here, it's like busy work.
Yeah, pretty much. And really quick, I want to make sure that this doesn't have what I'm worried it does with a shop. Character items, player icons, character items. Let's just, for the hell of it, Cloud of Darkness. Appearances, so you purchase them.
So it looks like you earn Gil, and that's
you
how
earn Gil, but it doesn't look like there's microtransactions in this game. So that's yeah, exactly.
Yes, you probably access them in the online mode.
Yeah, and I'm really frustrated with that.
Yeah, so basically my thoughts, mechanically, the gameplay is pretty solid. Yeah. It is pretty fun, but the story mode, that's just ridiculous. The whole, oh, you have to play these other modes to then earn like a coin to watch
why
the story.
Why call it a mode at that point? Because it's basically the story.
Yeah, because a game that does the same thing but does it better is Guilty Gear Xrd Sign and Xrd Revelator.
Yeah.
Where they just have the story mode as, okay, these are just cutscenes. They don't make you do anything else to watch the story. It's just like, oh yeah, it's basically like an anime. You have your bookmark chapter points and you just sit back and watch it, but they don't make you play through all of arcade mode before getting to see bits and pieces of the story.
Exactly.
So I just don't get what Square was thinking with this. I guess they thought by piecemealing it out like this, it would get people to actually, it's just, I don't know. I don't like the way they're doing the story mode.
Square Enix is kind of making some bad decisions down the line. Like, I'm still a fan, don't get me wrong, but it's really making me worried for future entries, especially with like Kingdom Hearts on the horizon, that we're going to have, you know, more AAA traits starting to show up.
Yeah, and so pretty much, I guess the best way, as someone who hasn't purchased it, I can see myself buying this, but probably only the standard edition, and that's maybe if it's on sale.
Yeah, exactly. For me, like, I'm a Final Fantasy fan through and through, and I wanted to be able to get artwork and stuff like that, and so I got the collector's edition, but also because I wanted the Warrior of Light bust. I like that. But right now, I can tell you guys, like, off the top of my head, at bare minimum, get the standard edition and see if that works for you. If you're that much of a Final Fantasy fan, you want to have the music, you want to have the artwork, go with the deluxe, but don't go any further than that.
And as for the ease of access for the gameplay, even though I'm a bit rusty, I was able to pick it up because I had already played Dissidia and knew the basic mechanics. It seems, at least the tutorial doesn't even seem to be as well designed as other fighting games that I've seen. So if you're new to Dissidia, I mean, it's not the worst title to start with, because at least as the story mode indicates, if you're as confused about Dissidia as the rest of us, well, so is Noctis.
Yeah.
And so as for the gameplay's accessibility, well, it's got some hiccups to it, but you'll get the hang of it before long. But again, the best way to approach this is not as a straight up one-on-one fighter, but more as a brawler, kind of like Dynasty Warriors.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's how I immediately assume that, like, don't think of this as a fighting game. Think of it more as a beat 'em up or something to
kind of more
extent.
like an action RPG.
Yeah, pretty much. So at that point, I mean, from my perspective, I do think that there's a little bit of a learning curve to the mechanics, but I think it's a stable one. It's an easy one to learn. As soon as you get into your first couple of matches, it will start to make sense to you. So at that point, I'm at least going to give them that credit, but I agree with you. If those online features go into things like a microtransaction or anything like that, that's going to be a really big turnoff for me. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Drak Tries. So thank you once again, Stephen Romney, for showing up and lending your expertise to this awesome game.
It's my pleasure.
And we're hoping for it to be even more awesome the more that we play it. And of course, we'll be back next time for the next episode of Drak Tries.